Welcome back to the channel, where we help you improve your English through the power of storytelling. Today's story is called A Day with Social Media. It is about a young woman named Mary, who slowly realizes that her phone is controlling her time and her life. One small experiment helps her see things clearly. Now get comfortable, relax. Repeat after me, which will help you to improve your fluency and pronunciation. Let's begin. The sun was already up, but Mary was not. She lay in her warm bed with her phone in her hand and her eyes glued to the screen. Her alarm had gone off 30 minutes ago, but she had not moved an inch. First, she opened Instagram and watched a few reels of people dancing and cooking. Then, she checked her Facebook notifications. After that, she scrolled through TikTok for what felt like 5 minutes, but was actually 40. By the time she finally put her phone down, it was almost 9 o'clock. She had missed her morning routine completely. No stretching, no breakfast, no quiet moment with a cup of tea, just an endless flood of videos, photos, and posts from people she barely knew. "I will just check one more thing," she whispered to herself, reaching for the phone again. This was becoming a habit, and deep down Mary knew it. However, she did not want to admit it. Social media made her feel connected. It made her feel like she was part of something bigger. But lately, it also made her feel tired, distracted, and strangely empty. She finally rolled out of bed and shuffled to the kitchen. Her roommate, Sarah, was already sitting at the table eating toast and reading a book. "Good afternoon, Sleeping Beauty," Sarah said with a teasing smile. "Did you have a busy morning on your phone again?" Mary frowned. "I was not on it that long." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "Mary, I heard your alarm at 7:30. It is almost 9:30 now." Mary felt a small wave of shame wash over her. Had she really lost 2 hours to her phone? 2 hours she could have used to exercise, study, or even just enjoy a proper breakfast. Instead, she had watched a stranger bake cookies and another stranger dance to a song she would forget by lunchtime. Mary was a university student with big dreams. She wanted to become a graphic designer, and she had a portfolio to finish by the end of the month. The deadline was not far away, and she knew she needed to work on it today. It was Saturday, a perfect day to make real progress. After her late breakfast, she sat down at her desk and opened her laptop. The design software took a moment to load. While she waited, she picked up her phone again. Just one quick look. She opened Twitter and saw a heated argument between two celebrities. She did not care about either of them, but the drama was hard to look away from. Then, she saw a friend's vacation photos on Facebook. The beach looked perfect. After that, she found herself watching a video essay about a movie she had never seen. Suddenly, her stomach growled. She looked at the clock. It was already 1 in the afternoon. 3 more hours had disappeared. Her design software was still open on the laptop, untouched. The blank screen stared back at her like an accusation. "I cannot focus," she said out loud, frustrated with herself. "Why can I not just put this stupid phone down?" Sarah walked by her room and heard the complaint. She stopped at the doorway. "Because these apps are designed to keep you hooked," she said matter-of-factly. "It is not just you. They have teams of engineers making sure you cannot look away." "But I need my phone," Mary argued. "What if someone needs to reach me?" "Does anyone ever need to reach you so urgently that you have to check every 10 minutes?" Sarah asked gently. Mary opened her mouth to answer, but no words came out. The truth was painful. Nobody needed her that urgently. The notifications were rarely important. Most of them were just alerts about sales, random comments, or videos the app thought she might like. Because she was so used to the constant buzz of information, her brain had forgotten how to be quiet. Sarah sat down on the edge of Mary's bed. "Look," she said in a kind voice, "I am not saying you should throw your phone away and live in a cave, but maybe you should try a small experiment today, just for the rest of the day." "What kind of experiment?" Mary asked, suspicious but curious. "Put your phone in the kitchen drawer for 3 hours," Sarah suggested. "Just 3 hours. Use that time to work on your portfolio with zero distractions. No notifications. No buzzing. Just you and your work." Mary felt a small panic rise in her chest. 3 hours without her phone. That sounded impossible. What if she got bored? What if she missed something important? However, another part of her was tired. Tired of feeling unproductive. Tired of wasting days and wondering where the time went. Tired of the guilt that followed every scrolling session. "Fine," she said finally. 3 hours. But if I miss an emergency, it is your fault." Sarah laughed. "If there is an emergency, people will call. That is what phones were originally made for. Remember." Mary handed her phone to Sarah, who placed it in the kitchen drawer. The sound of the drawer closing felt strangely final, like the closing of a door. The first 10 minutes were the hardest. Mary sat at her desk and felt an almost physical urge to check her phone. Her hand reached for it several times automatically before she remembered it was not there. She felt restless and uncomfortable. "Just focus," she told herself firmly. "Just start." First, she opened her portfolio file and looked at what she had so far. It was not much. However, she forced herself to pick one project and work on it. Then she started designing a new logo. After that, she adjusted the colors and fonts. Slowly, something magical happened. She stopped thinking about her phone entirely. The work absorbed her attention. Ideas started flowing. She tried a new layout she had never considered before. She fixed a color problem that had bothered her for weeks. Because there were no pings or buzzes interrupting her thoughts, she entered a state of deep focus. Time did not feel like it was slipping away anymore. It felt rich and full. The next time she looked at the clock, 2 hours had passed. But instead of feeling guilty, she felt proud. Her portfolio looked better than it had in weeks. She had created 3 new designs she was genuinely excited about. Sarah knocked on the door and poked her head in. "How is it going?" "I cannot believe it," Mary said, her eyes wide. "I got more done in 2 hours than I usually do in an entire day." Sarah smiled. That is the power of focus. Social media gives you little hits of entertainment, but it steals your ability to concentrate on things that actually matter to you. When the 3 hours were up, Mary went to the kitchen and took her phone out of the drawer. She had 3 missed notifications, 2 spam emails, and 1 like on an old photo. No emergencies, no urgent messages. The world had not ended without her constant attention. That evening, Mary and Sarah sat together in the living room. Mary felt calmer than she had felt in a long time. "I think I need to change something," Mary admitted. "Not quit social media completely, but control it better." "That is a smart idea," Sarah said. "Balance is the key. Social media is not evil. It is just a tool. The problem is when the tool starts using you instead of you using the tool. Mary nodded. From now on, I am going to set a time limit. 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. That is it. The rest of the day, my phone stays in the drawer while I work. And what about the weekends? Sarah asked. Especially the weekends, Mary said firmly. I have wasted too many Saturdays already. The next morning, Mary's alarm went off at 7:30. She stretched, got out of bed, and drank a glass of water. She did not reach for her phone. Instead, she opened the curtains and let the sunlight fill the room. She made herself a cup of tea and sat quietly for 10 minutes, just breathing and planning her day. After that, she checked her social media for her allowed 30 minutes. She enjoyed it more than she usually did. Because she knew her time was limited, she paid attention to posts from close friends instead of random strangers. Then, when the timer buzzed, she put the phone in the kitchen drawer without hesitation. She sat down at her desk, opened her laptop, and smiled at her portfolio. For the first time in a long time, she felt in control. Social media had its place in her life, but it no longer controlled her. The day ahead felt open, full of possibility, and completely hers. And that was a day with social media. Mary learned that social media can be fun, but it can also steal your time if you are not careful. A small change, like putting her phone away for a few hours, helped her focus and feel better. Here are 3 questions for you to think about. You can share your answers in the comments below. Number 1. How many hours do you spend on social media each day? Number 2. Have you ever felt like social media was wasting your time? And number 3. What small change can you make to control your phone use better? If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Remember, your time is precious. Use it wisely. See you in the next story.